Hi guys, so today I have a video for you sponsored by Tonic Studios. They did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. Any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I will make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you guys for using them. It's their new color trend. I think it's the third color trend of the year, called Harvest Moon, and just beautiful, rich, fall colors. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with the papers. So these are some of the new papers here, and I just have them kind of fanned out here so you can see. Got a little sneak peek in the craft kit, the new craft kit. So if you guys saw that video, or if you saw it there on Tonic Studios site, you got a little bit of a sneak peek into some of these papers and some of the lineup. But this is the coffee cream. It's a pearlescent card, so you see that pearlescent sheen on it. Super pretty. Looks like my coffee. Right now, my coffee, I put so much cream in it, it always looks very light. So we have that one there. Sienna Treasure is a specialty card, a speciality card. Sienna Treasure, it's a luxury embossed card, and hopefully you can kind of see it has like a striping to it. And it's just a shimmery, gorgeous paper. Single-sided on that one. The pearlescent card is double-sided. Ginger Pie is a classic cardstock, so of course it has, just like any other Tonic classic card, it has that texture on one side. Hi, you can kind of see me there. And on the back side, it's a little bit smoother. So whenever I want to stamp on classic card, I usually stamp on the side that's a little smoother. And then if I just want the texture, I just use the other side of it. So that's Ginger Pie. Gorgeous color. Almost like a rust color, but very ginger, very pretty. Baroque Rose is a mirror card. Again, just gorgeous card. It has that beautiful pink blush to it. A little deeper than like a light pink. Not super bright. And then it's single-sided. And Royal Garnet, such a pretty paper. This is just another specialty paper, handcrafted cotton paper. And as you can see, it has all this texture to it. And the back side looks pretty much the same as far as the coloring, but it is the deboss side, of course, where this side has that texture popping up. On this side it is pushed in, so you can use it either way. A little deeper on this side as far as the color, though, if you can see. Maybe you can see a little bit difference. This is a little brighter. And then we have the Harvest Moon papers, which again we checked out during the new craft kit launch, but let me open this guy up. A lot of sweet colors in here, a lot of deep, rich colors also, so it's a nice mix of both of those things. So there's 24 sheets, it's a 6x6 pad, and there are 8 designs, 6 of each. The 8 designs, they're front and back, so it's, this one and then this one, so that's 2 designs, right? And again, 6 pages of each. So let's check this out again. Again, that cute little kind of like toll painted leaf, really, really sweet. A little deep color on the back there. And this one has like a quilted pattern to it. Those mustard colors, and on the back it has like a really different geometric kind of circle design. And this one has like just like little waves, little lines and different colors. So you can see that the tones of like browns in there. And on the back of that one is just like kind of like a snake print pattern, but not quite. If you look at it really up close, it looks more like a lattice, I don't know, kind of print. Really pretty cream color. The little fall leaves, which are adorable, really tiny little leaves on that one. And on the back of that, kind of reminds me of Halloween, very orange with like a deeper orange dot on it. Hope you can see there. So pretty. So very versatile on that one. And then we have some special fun new things. And I put these, let me put this to the side here. I took these out of the packaging. If you know, when you order from Tonic, whenever it's something that's like liquid or has some kind of, they usually put it in a bag, some way to seal it up even better. So we have those. But I took everything out of the little bags so we can check them out. Let me get a little bit closer. And we have drops. So this one's called, this is a crystal drop in Windsor Wine. So it's a very purple, pretty color. This one is Dream Drop in Moroccan Flame. That's gorgeous. I love the sheen on that, and that, again, copper, really pretty Moroccan Flame. I like that name. And then this one is a Stone Drop. Oh, so cool. So Stone Drops have like texture in them, where this one's a little bit, the Crystal Drop isn't, it's more like a jelly look, I suppose. And the Dream Drop is very, like, metallic, what's the word? Like, I guess shimmery, but in a different way. And I have a video that I made in the past that shows the different types of drops. Other than the scented drops, the aroma drops are new, but it gives you an idea of the sheen and the way they dry and all that kind of stuff. This is the stone drop. So this one has like texture to it, like little, kind of like pumice stone, like little rock kind of texture. Mustard jar. Beautiful color. You can kind of see in there. Like that little speckling that's in there. Gives it that special stone drop feel. So those are the drops there. Maroon Spark, and this is the shimmer powder. Shimmer powder is super fun. It's a very fine kind of like pigment powder, and you can wet some paper and then give it a squeeze on the wet paper, or you can spray it. It's like a little squeeze. You just give it a little squeeze and the little powder comes out really fine, and then spray it with water, or spray your paper, squirt it on there, then spray it again, however you want to play with it. It just works really well. Stays on your paper, which I love, so that's great. Really, really pretty. And this one's called Maroon Spark. And again, it's not just like what you see. There'll be little flecks of other colors that come alive once you wet it. Really cool. Cool stuff. Let's see. Let's do this. Embossing powders. Cute little jar. And a nice size here. So this is a Nuvo embossing powder of Medici Crimson, which again is a super just pretty like burgundy. Hope you can see that. And this one is the Copper Mine. It reminds me a lot of that. Is it Aztec Gold? They have another drop that I like to use pretty often, and it looks a lot like this, but maybe I'm getting the names mixed up. But really pretty. Hopefully you can kind of see kind of coppery gold embossing powder. So cute. Love these. Okay, a little sparkle spray, which I've told you guys in the past, this stuff is awesome. It sprays almost like a gilt. I don't know how to explain it. It's really nice. You've seen it in different videos whenever I have used it. Really good stuff. So I'm a fan of this, the sparkle spray. This one's called Sparkling Mimosa, and it's like a gold color, I think. Yeah, kind of like a rich gold. And then this one is the Glacier Paste. Glacier Paste is a lot of fun. It's very shimmery. It looks really smooth. You can apply it more sheer. You can apply it more thick. It just depends on what you want to do with it. But it just has a really ethereal kind of shimmer to it. Really pretty. This one's called Bronze Metal. And hopefully you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's very soft. Gorgeous stuff. And then we have some mousses. So Glacier Paste is different than the mousse in the way you use it, the way it looks. So the mousses, again, you can brush them on, you can paint them, you can dilute them with water, you can put them in a little squirt bottle of water and get some color that way. There's just lots of ways to play with it, paint with it. Just put it through a stencil, apply it thinly, apply it thickly, however you want. It's very shimmery normally. So this one's the adds metallic dimension details to your craft project. So this is the embellishment mousse, like that we are very familiar with. This one's antique red, and look at that beautiful color. Oh my gosh, all these colors together are so pretty. Let me show these this way so we can check them out. And then this one, oh, so soft and pretty. So this one is the expanding mousse. So add a texture distress 3D effect using a heat tool. So this one you can heat up. Okay, because I know there's other ones. I think it's the crackle one that you should probably let dry, like air dry. This one does say to apply heat, so maybe we will use this today, because I know sometimes in my mind, I suppose, I thought it had it air dry. So this one's called Canyon Clay, and look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's just like a pearlescent, deep kind of, I want to say mauve color. No, mauve's more purple, right? The undertone? I don't know, it's like a pinky beige. Really pretty. And then along with the new color trend, we have Golden Honey. That's part of that color trend. It's a glitter marker. The glitter markers, again, are best used on porous things like paper. They don't really dry on plastic or like slippery surfaces like that, slick surfaces. So more paper, cardstock, those kind of things. Pretty. And they work really well. Yeah, I have other ones that I've opened before, but maybe we'll try it out just so you can see what I'm talking about. And then the Nuvo Diamonds ink pad. So this is a little set of the 3 colors that we have: Roomba Red, Hawaiian Sunset, and Samoan Sun. All really pretty, rich colors. And these are hybrid inks, so I know I get questions a lot about inks and stuff. Look how pretty they all look together. These will work for stamping. I haven't done a lot of blending. Maybe that's something I can try, but I have used them through a stencil, so I suppose that's the same kind of thing. They work really well, again, for that. which has some blending in it, right? Once you're going through a stencil, it depends on how you use your colors, if you want to blend them or if you're just trying to keep them separate. But they work really well there. They, if you want to stamp, normally it's with black or brown. When you want to color something in, hybrid inks, you can use water-based markers and water-based products like watercolors on them after you stamp. And you can also use alcohol ink markers and products and without smearing, but you want to let them dry for that to take effect. So they're great in a way that you don't have to have like a specific one just to use with alcohol ink markers and this one just to use with water-based things. It just works for both. But again, wait for them to dry to not smear when you're using alcohol ink. Yeah, and it says it's fast drying all surface ink. So, oh, that's interesting. It says all surface because, again, maybe slick surfaces, things like that. There are certain papers that sometimes when you stamp, your ink wants to smear. So that's nice to know. Anyhow, so that's that. And I think that's what I have. So those are the pieces that I have to share with you guys today for the new color trend. Really pretty, like right up my alley. I love these kind of colors. What we're going to do is just, grab some dyes and make something pretty. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, for this first project, I'm going to use some of the ginger pie and a coffee cream. And this is just going to be what I'm going to use for the card base. And we'll do a little of that expanding mousse and stuff like that on here. So let's have some fun with that. So for this one, this is A4 size paper, so I'm going to cut it down to make a standard A2 size card. So with A4 size paper, since it's only about 8 1/4 in this direction, it's not 8 1/2 like our other, I need to cut the 5 1/2 from that section, and then we're going to cut 8 1/2 in the other direction. So on the length here, on the width, sorry, I'm going to do 5 1/2, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut 8 1/2 in the other direction. I'm going to go close my window because someone's doing yard work. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. And so now we have the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4 to make a card base. And then I think I'm going to map this into that. And so I'm going to cut it at 4 1/8. By 5 3/8, so it just mats into my card base. So I'm gonna go ahead and score this, and I will be right back. Okay. So I'm just gonna bring out this mat so I can spray and do some work on it, but basically something like that. It's just gonna layer in there. Some people like to trim this down after they've done their kind of mixed media fun. However you like to do it. I like to just, have it ready to go to begin with, to the size I like. So I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a shake, shake, shake. And since this is the first time I'm going to use it, I'm going to spray it. Oh, you know what? I was going to spray it on a scrap paper, but might as well spray it on something that maybe I can use later. Just in case. So again, we're going to give it some squeezes until it starts spraying, kind of giving it some room. If you want to use a spray box, you can definitely do that. Ooh, there we go. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do that. So that's just a card base that I already had sitting here next to me. And now I can play off that later. I just want to make sure it was getting going. And so I'm just going to spray it kind of up high. I don't know if you see, it's hard to tell. I'm like maybe a foot away from it. And I just want something like that. That's literally all I want. So pretty. So I was going to stencil over this, and I like the way it came out, so I think I'll leave that there and I'll do the stenciling down here. Yep. Okay, I am going to wipe this down and clean it off because it will stay, like I said, on different surfaces, so I don't want it to stay on this. So I'm going to wipe it down, and I'll be right back. So I have a heat tool here. I normally don't put heat tools on this, but I'll just give it a quick, because I'm going to let that dry also with the expanding mousse, so we're going to use a heat tool anyway. So I have my expanding mousse here, and I'm just going to grab, this might be a little too big, but I have that. And use the stencil here. And I'm going to put this stuff going this way. Actually, I'll put it on the whole thing just to make it more organic. I don't want this like harsh line there. But I'm not going to apply it that high. And maybe there. So let's try this out. Generally, whatever you use, don't put it back in here, and then always keep it nicely sealed. I usually keep it within my mousses. In another box, some people put Glad Press and Seal over the top to help it stay, more airproof. But I usually just leave this silver stuff on here. Ooh, this is interesting. I guess I haven't tried mine out yet. So let's get some of this. I can see I put something in there. Okay. I don't know how much of this I want. Again, this is just going to be kind of organic, so I'm just going... I always hold my stencil anyway with my hand because I'm just used to doing that. But I'm going to pop it there and just... Again, you can apply it as thick or as thin as you like. Some on the back there. Maybe a little bit more here. Something like that. I'll put a little more down here. Okay. You can definitely scrape the rest off, but so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go clean this off, and then I'm gonna hit this with a heat gun, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cleaned this off. Again, with just a baby wipe, and interesting enough, it does say, well, I'm gonna wipe this very edge. You can hit it right away with the heat tool, or you can just let it sit and expand on its own, do what it's gonna do. It also says it's a water-based product, so you can add distilled water to soften it if you need to. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna... This is not on high or anything like that, so I'm just trying to see what happens. I'm gonna kick it up a notch. Oh, it's changing texture for sure. Can you see that? You can see that it's kind of bubbling and doing some funky stuff. Wow. It's definitely expanding. And you don't have to hit the whole thing. I mean, if you wanted to look kind of more fun and weird, you can just go away from there and it does a different look. Alright guys, sorry, I know it's loud. I'm gonna keep going and heating up this whole thing, but look at that. How it looks different from this down here. I will keep working with it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna dry as far as like enough for me to flatten it back out. I'm just touching it. It feels cool. It feels like, I don't know, like a little bit rubbery, a little bit foamy like. So anyway, we're going to flatten that out and stick it on here. And then, you know, I grabbed this set that I've had for a minute. I got it through one of the vault sales. It's the Craft Kit 29, and it's butterflies. So what I'm going to do is just take some of these butterflies and cut them out of the papers that from the new color trend, and we're going to pop some of those on here. And so I'll be right back. I'm just going to cut several different butterflies from the papers. Okay, so I have a few butterflies cut. This one I cut from that gorgeous specialty paper. Look at that. So it's going to pop on there somehow. And then this one I cut from the pattern paper. So it's kind of carrying that fall on its leaves there. And this one, I'm going to do something different. So we're going to do try out a few things, kind of a couple projects in the one. So I'm going to take this guy, just cut from some classic cardstock, some cream color that I have in my stash. I'm going to take the clear embossing pad, and I'm just going to push this into that. Doesn't have to get too juicy, you just got to get that on there. And you can see on the other side if it's gotten on there well enough. Now this is classic card, so it is textured on that one side that I'm facing down. So I just want to make sure I have it pretty much all over. And I can kind of see that we're almost there. Again, I'm not squeezing it too hard, just kind of patting there. That'll probably do it. And I'm going to take some of the embossing powder. I think this one coordinates a little better, so I'm keeping those kind of brown tones. Let's open this guy up. Pour it right on there. And the reason I use a coffee filter is when I'm done I can pour it back into the bottle very easily. And maybe grab some little tweezers. Hold on to this guy somewhere very gently. I'm just probably going to do this once, but you can definitely go over this a couple of times just dip it back in the embossing powder after you heat it up. Or if it's still nice and hot, you can usually dip it right back into your embossing powder and get another coat. I'm just going to reposition where I was holding it. And again, just heat it up. Like any embossing powder, and it'll start turning color, and then you move on. Again, while it's still super hot, like if it's nice and hot, you can dip it back in and get some more embossing powder on it. But I probably need to get away from this embossing powder. Alright, I think we're good. And you know what? It's nice and hot like this. You can even stamp on it and get an impression from whatever stamp you stamp into it. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's just put our different card together. One other thing I'm going to try is the ink. It does say it stamps on different surfaces, so what I'm going to do is see which one of these I would like to use. I should go with Hawaiian Sunset. It's a little brighter than I thought. And then we have this one. I'll probably stamp with this one. And we have our butterflies. And I think I'm going to stamp this Spread Your Wings and Fly. Just make it look kind of rustic, so that's why I don't mind that it's just going to be kind of in there, and see what happens. Let me think what I want to do with my butterflies though. So if they're just kind of here and there, you know, wherever I place them. So that's fine if this Spread Your Wings and Fly might be here somewhere. Again, I have things sprayed there. If it doesn't work out, what I'm going to do is stamp it again on a different piece of paper, and then I'll just put it there to cover it up if I make a boo-boo there. So, I'm not too worried about it. Let's place this in here. And maybe there. It's about straight. Okay. And just try and keep that down a little bit better, since, you know, it wants to be wonky from all the spraying and stuff that we did. Ink that up. A little zhuzh. Wow, that's pretty great, because I sprayed on that too, right, with the spray, so like it has some texture to it. So I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let that dry again, and I will be right back. Okay, we're just gonna pop this out of here and put a good amount of glue on the back of this so we can flatten her out. So I hope you guys had fun with this, watching, you know, trying out as many of the different items that are in the new color trend. Different types, right? The mousses and embossing powders and spray and all those good things. Papers. I'm going to hold this down for a minute, just making sure all the different surfaces. I don't know if you noticed, I gave it kind of a zhuzh when I laid it down, so that way the glue just really spreads out to all the areas. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're good there. And then I'm just going to glue these guys down, of course, or I was going to say again, of course, instead of gorse. But anyway, I put a little glue on the back, and I just kind of let them do their own thing. So if I had that one there, maybe this guy here, maybe this little guy over here somewhere, something like that. So I'll just put a little bit of glue, and I'm actually going to glue this down very well since they are pretty fine, the little item here. And, you know, like I said, this is an older set that I used for this, but of course a new color trend comes out, you have your papers and you have your embellishments and fun things like that. You got to pair those up with some nice dyes, you know. So I just grabbed something from my stash, of course, that I wanted to use. And hopefully that helps you guys out, kind of see what we can do. And you can, of course, put dimensionals under this. I'm just kind of making it so that these guys will just be on here. And that little guy. I love the way this kind of thing feels. It feels just so sturdy because it's like a super embossed, lacquered kind of thing. I really like that. I'll put him down in here. So just something like that. And I think I might top this off with some drops. I want to see what colorway this one has. Again, super coppery and pretty. Well, you kind of see the way I do drops, I don't touch the paper. You just kind of keep it up a little bit higher, give it a squeeze. I usually let it go, I give it a little swirl. Sometimes you can hit the bottom of your project like that and it'll round it out for you. So I'll add a few drops here and there, and I'll have some images for you guys. Thank you so much, Tonic, for sponsoring this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have the images there. I'll have the links in the description box. And, you know, just such a beautiful, rich color trend. I love it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.